Hey FMA, it's Michelle. So I'm wearing the shard that we made in the video before I give it to Ms. Kathy. And I just wanted to show you the different rates of color for sea glass. So I have this pretty awesome kit of cards. I've been collecting sea glass since, I don't even know, maybe the 2008, 2009. So my husband and I and my kids have a pretty good collection. We wanted to start learning the history and identifying the pieces and the shards that we had. So let me just talk you through it, okay? So there are extremely rare colors. That means they were hardly produced, and they were produced mostly in the 1800s. So if you're looking at your collection, maybe you're a collector like us, orange is extremely rare, red, yellow, turquoise, black, teal, and gray. And it's so cool. These cards will tell about each color. How amazing. It's this whole thing. There's a beach glass conference every year where people from all over come and share their collections and talk about it. Who would have known? Okay, so next we're going to talk about the rare pieces. Okay, a lot of them are tableware, jars, canning jars, bottles, decorative vases and tableware. Okay, insulators, they used to be on the electric poles. And so these colors, maybe you have, are pink and aqua. One of my favorite earring necklace sets is aqua that my husband made for me. Cornflower blue, cobalt blue, and white opaque. Kind of funny to touch. It feels, texture is interesting. And citron. All right, we have all those colors in our extremely rare. We have a couple reds, some turquoise, some yellow, black, teal, and gray. I do not have orange, I don't think. So some people are always on the hunt for beach glass to add to their collection. All right, so then we're gonna show you the uncommon colors. And did I tell you the purple amethyst? That was also the one I made the pendant from. That was rare. Moving on to uncommon colors, we've got, which the next two categories are probably what we'll find most of on the beaches today. Soft green, or seafoam, soft blue. Some of these are windows, bottles, insulators, forest green. That's a pretty one. I like that color. Art glass, lime green. This one was only made 1950s to 1970s, so that's a special one to find, I think. It tells you, like at the bottom, the ratio. So you might find 1 in 50 pieces might have been that lime green. I just like green a lot, so. Golden amber, amber, and jade. Cool. 1860s to today. So, in the early 1900s, that's when we started mass producing bottles to be shipped all over, to ship beverages for mass consumption. Industry increased, population increased, so the most common colors we're going to find on the beaches, very common, are white or clear, brown, and Kelly green. 99% is bottles. All right, early 1900s to now. Now that we talked about all the color categories, just wanted to show some of our pieces are handles and stems of glassware. They've got that circle shape or half circle. Bottle stoppers. They put them at the top of the bottles like perfume stoppers. I think, gosh, we have thousands of shards that we have found. We might have 1 to 3 of these. That's a fun find. Art glass. Gosh, we even have a marble. It's green. Tableware. You can see all that fancy tableware. It was imported in the 1700s. And then they started making glass with patterns on it in the 1820s. The Depression glass era ran from the 1930s through the 40s. Pretty cool. These are the glass insulators we were talking about that were on the electric poles. I remember those vaguely when I was a little girl, and I was born in 1979. And flat glass. Some of the flat glass has a very pretty pattern. I actually have a piece that looks just like that. It's so pretty. It made a really nice pendant. So it's cool. I'm not going to get into this too much, but 1700s, here's some common bottles. Some people just collect bottles, which that could be a fun hobby, dating back bottles. What were the bottles used for? How did they make the glass? Some bottles were tinted dark green because there was dangerous chemicals inside it. Then this glass, 1900s, remember the common, we started making more mason jars to process our food, and Coca-Cola, Clorox, all these other things that we started using a lot in society. So, 5 quick tips before I end this short video. Most sea glass comes from bottles. They were discarded much more frequently than tableware. Following the introduction of Owen's automated bottle machine in the early 1900s, bottles became especially disposable, made with thinner glass and in fewer colors. By 1975, the U.S. was producing over 40 billion bottles every year, and recycling was beginning to catch on. Number 2, the rare colors are most often from tableware. The extremely rare colors are mostly from art glass, tableware, vanity ware, warning lights, stained glass, whimsies. Large runs of royal ruby bottles were made in the 1950s. The most common colors were from mass-produced bottles, the green, blue, and white, in 1920s actually. Number 4, bubbles usually indicate older glass. The bottle production was perfected in 1920, so bubbles reduced. A shard with bubbles could be from the late 1700s, while one with several larger bubbles may date to the 1800s. So use a flashlight to look for the bubbles. And so thick shards are often older pieces. 100-year-old bottles were designed for repeated use and had to hold up to the rigors of shipping and cleaning. Walls were often thick to avoid breakage. As bottle machines became faster, cost per bottle dropped and manufacturers no longer wanted their bottles returned. Wall thicknesses were reduced in the new disposables. Bottle bottoms remained somewhat thicker than the walls, but less so than in the past. So yeah, gosh, this purple big shard, possibly 100 or more years old. Pretty cool. So who would have known that some product that we use so often just has so much detail and history connected to it. Now lately, beach glass is a hard thing to find on the beaches. We are recycling more. That's a good thing. We're also making more products out of plastic. Can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. Unfortunately, we are finding a lot of plastic on the beach, especially microplastics, which are tiny, tiny pieces. Unfortunately, wildlife is eating them. They're getting absorbed into human consumption, and it's something that scientists are really looking at closely right now. So anyways, that's it for now. How do we date, classify, identify the colors and the age of the beach glass we find?